At least their ban strategy roughly the same, and who can blame them? Kha'Zix, Shaco, and Lulu going the way of the dinosaur. Meanwhile, on the other side, Predictive Gaming, they have left that Katarina up that King Annihilator is so dangerous on. Is he good first pick it?
Maybe?
Pros and cons to first picking Katarina here. Go.
Literally.
Is their best champion, by the way.
Yes. 80% of the cast shuts that champion down. That's the con. The pro, we get to see Katarina. But they decide to shut down Runner 90 here, and I don't mind that as well because Runner 90 has a very specific champion pool, and instead they're going to go for out of blue's sort of AP bot laner there. They've been playing a lot of APCs, and curious to see what they ought to go for with the B2-3 picks here. But yeah, Katarina early pick.
So sometimes you just mush.
Yes.
You know, it's like the only time picking your best champion first did not work out was when, I can't remember who they were playing against, but Faker blinded LeBlanc into a Morgana. He was on his undefeated LeBlanc and lost. He blind picked it and they countered with Morgana mid. It was EDG? Yeah. They countered with Morgana mid and he lost his first professional game on LeBlanc. That's the only time it's gone bad. And you're not playing against EDG. I don't know. I would just love to see them go for it. But Predictive Gaming, you know, I play a lot of Ezreal, and I hate Yuumi, but let me tell you, when I got a Yuumi on my team and I'm playing Ezreal, I am so happy right now. This is a goated bot lane.
It's really going to be...
They might even have the sauce.
They might. But this Yuumi here, interesting pickup here for Melon. It's going to provide this team a lot of healing. It's going to provide them a lot of late game potential. It basically, Yuumi just acts as a extra sort of scaling power for you and able to buff up your team, able to provide a lot of healing, be really annoying as well to deal with. The cat is going to be pretty difficult to deal with if you don't put her down early, but interestingly enough, Jinx going to come through for MG Element, so out of blue going to pull out the Jinx this time, and that's King Annihilator playing the Veigar instead.
I mean, maybe it is, but we don't know yet.
Could be. It could be Veigar support.
And realistically speaking, Veigar support into a Yuumi Ezreal is not bad. If Yuumi ever detaches, you can get caught by the cage.
Yeah. And you're stuck in a lot of ways once that happens. You have ways to sort of cut that cage in half with the Jinx Flame Chompers. Mm-hmm. You've got the Pillar as well, but Viego is the answer. So Mute going... This is definitely what we want to see out of Predictive Gaming. It's a different sort of draft. They're drafting different identities in their lane. You know, it was the tank sort of gank machine in that early game. Now you're going to get a little bit more late game potential with this Viego, and you've got this Yuumi as well. Later game, you know, Viego in the mist with a Yuumi on top of them can sort of pop out and surprise anyone. So I like this draft thus far from Predictive Gaming.
Yeah, there's one criticism that I could have with it, and that, you know, based off of what Powfu plays and what Spy Fiction plays, it's going to be a bit more of a lean team composition, as I like to call it, where, you know, you don't really, your tankiest member might just be like a bruiser, maybe. Like your tankiest member might be Viego, but Yuumi is in the same vein of Soraka, just like a second health bar at times. So you can kind of get away with it.
Yes, I think that with the expected sort of champions that are going to come out, granted, this isn't necessarily expected. No. There's not going to be a tank. I mean, it's not going to be like Spy Fiction pulls out Malphite mid lane, full tank Malphite or something. But it's...
I mean, maybe they do.
Then you don't have any AP at that point. I mean, Predictive Gaming, they've got themselves the makings of a different identity in their team comp, and with all of these mid lane with all of these mid lane bans as well, it's going to push people down the sort of priority list in terms of champions. So curious to see what both of these teams draft with their last picks here. The Cho'Gath, though, gonna mean some pretty scary times for Wukong come that mid game when Cho'Gath is able to get really beefy and you just can't deal with him.
Yeah, and Cho'Gath, his ultimate goes really well into the sides of Predictive Gaming, because really the only thing that counters Cho'Gath ultimate is more health, and it's not something that Predictive Gaming has in spades.
Yes.
Echo rounding out the picks. So Veigar, Jinx, Trundle, Cho'Gath, Echo seems like a team with a lot of pick potential, but doesn't really have any true engagement, although we did see yesterday a Trundle running up at you can be quite effective.
Yes, it can be really strong. Seems like I like this pick if it does get locked in. The Malzahar going to be the answer into the Echo, which is it's good. It provides a lot of disengage in this sense. So curious to see how they end up playing this one out. The Echo, though, really going to be a roaming threat. It's going to try and shove in that lane in the early game, but laning phase is going to be incredibly difficult against this Malzahar.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit of a rough time. The Malphaic Visions is just going to do so much damage to you. You have to get in melee range to CS, unless you're just going to burn through your mana. I do like the addition of the Malzahar to the team comp, as you mentioned. It seems like a pretty good pickup. It adds to their pick potential a little bit. Their pick potential was pretty low. I mean, Wukong's ultimate, you can use it for picks, you can use it for full-on team fights. Viego's got a stun in his kit, not too bad. Yuumi ultimate, you'd rather save for the larger team fights, but generally speaking, if you can burn cooldowns to get a kill, you'll do it. But the Nether Grasp out of Malzahar, that kind of changes the game here. You get a speed up from a Yuumi all of a sudden, you zoom in, boom, you hit him with the Nether Grasp.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to deal with this Nether Grasp in a lot of ways because there's not any way of really stopping it. It's either going to have to be the Malzahar passive is going to have to be down, but you need to have 2 instances of that crowd control to really cancel that out. And, you're forced to buy the QSS tax on a lot of these members. I think Jinx, Trundle, and Echo are definitely going to have to consider that as an option that is necessary this game. And, that's 4,000 gold that you don't really get in terms of raw power anymore. QSS is one of those necessary items that doesn't really help you come that later stage. So curious to see how these players want to play it out.
And one thing I was just thinking of is when you take a look at what the damage charts of Predictive Gaming are going to look like in a perfect world, everybody is going to have to contribute. Wukong is not a champion that's going to put up 25k damage. Malzahar is not a champion that'll put up 25k damage, nor is Viego. Ezreal, yes, if you get it to the late game. So realistically, Ezreal with the Yuumi should be able to hold up their end of the bargain. It's going to be on Viego, Wukong, and Malzahar to be able to make sure they're getting in enough damage to finish off these tanky members such as Trundle and Cho'Gath while simultaneously not dying for it.
Yeah, that's the main thing to keep in mind is that both of these teams, the side of Predictive Gaming at least is going to be a slow burn in terms of the damage, especially with the Malzahar. They're going to have extended fights a little bit more. It's not so much about that upfront burst, whereas MG Element, they're just trying to one-shot you before you're even having a chance to get these DOTs down onto a bunch of members, able to extend the fight out, able to get your Conquerors stacked up. MG Element want the quick engage. They're sort of like Electrocute as a rune, and then Predictive Gaming are like Conquer as a rune. 2 different types of play styles, and we'll have to see which one ends up being more prevalent.
And we will see if MG Element has the damage to burst out Predictive Gaming. They had the damage in game 1 because of their great early game. We will have to see if MG Element is able to repeat their solid early game, or if Predictive Gaming is going to be able to turn the tide. They've got a brand new draft, and it's a brand new game, and it's a brand new season of the Black Twitch League. We're only in here to week 2. It is the final series of week 2. We're heading into game 2 with MG Element up 1 game to nothing. And we are going to be in the spectator delay for just a little bit, so do not go anywhere. Yanni and Adam, we're gonna cut away for a little bit, chill out, and probably realistically talk some ish on these team compositions while we're away. I don't think so. I kind of like both of them.
I like both of them too, but yeah, we'll head to a break.
Well, yeah. Regardless, we'll see you soon. Welcome back, everybody. We are here for Game 2 between Predictive Gaming and MG Element, and God, these guys won't stop pinging. Listen, we don't actually start the game at 0 seconds, not sure if y'all have noticed. So within the first 10 seconds that we get everything synced together, we just hear bing, 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 bing. Like, what are you pinging for? Like, y'all know where they're at now. Like, all right, like, chill, please.
They were all pinging into the enemy base as well. Like, it was...
For real. Like, what are you doing? I guess they're just really trying to go at them, you know?
Showing exactly where their priorities lie. They want to be in that base in 30 minutes.
Yeah, listen. Yeah, 30 minutes or less, or else the game is free. MG Element, they will be on the blue side this game, Predictive Gaming, on the red side, and a bit of a different champion for a couple of members of each side. Powfu into the Wukong didn't really seem like it was something in their wheelhouse, but realistically, this top laner can play pretty much anything. It just seemed a little atypical to what they've played in BTL thus far. King Annihilator, I would still consider an Echo an aggressive pick, so it kind of fits the wheelhouse.
Yeah, Echo mid lane is definitely not meta in a lot of ways. It exists, but you know, it's not amazing. But of note here, Melon with the UB, so going to be trying to buzz their way into the ears of their enemies and into hopefully a victory here. I think the Yuumi pick is going to be sort of the X factor in a lot of ways.
What a coincidence, because I really love telling Yuumi to buzz off, because man, I hate that champion. But I do wholeheartedly agree with you, Adam. What kind of impact do we expect to see from this Yuumi?
I think the main thing is going to be come that mid game where she has her Moonstone. She's just able to be really annoying and just heal up the entire side of Predictive Gaming here. That's really what they're playing for is Pafu. This is not a good trade.
Going from Gwippo to Bwippo real quick. Pretty solid trading.
Oh, no.
We see a level 2 hit here, but Cookie's able to shift out, and now late game carry is going to take a lot of damage back. Some pretty solid trading out of both sides so far, but Cookie's on this Ezreal just seems like a different beast.
Oh my goodness!
The Ignite is out. Cookie's flashing forward. First blood going over to the Yuumi. The Ignite is put down onto Cookies, but late game carry has nowhere to go. And just like that, Predictive Gaming's bot lane, the Yuumi as the X Factor, getting themselves 2 kills in that bot lane.
Yeah, I meant like X Factor in like 20 minutes or so, but no, just coming out here 2.5 minutes into this game, finding the double kill, really well played. You know, the cage is put down. They know that there's not a whole lot of damage coming out from late game carry in this early stage, and they're able to take advantage of that. I really like that play. Their wave... Oh, actually, their wave is kind of screwed, though, because it's freezing against them.
I mean, it's Ezreal. There's not really too much you can do.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah. But as a wise silence once said, no more cages, and Cookies clearly subscribes to that theory. And late game carry, you know, listen, I feel like I say it all the time because it just so happens a lot of the champions I like to play are popular. Ezreal Veigar, listen, if you are not landing that cage exactly on the edge of Ezreal, you have no hope.
Yeah, and especially you have to separate them out, as you said.
Mm-hmm.
But even still, like, you have to land the edge of the cage. Like, if it's stunned all the way through, yeah, great, you did your job, but it doesn't. You have to get them with the wall, so it's a little bit of a tough situation for this Veigar lane, and we figured that it would be late game carry pulling out the Veigar support, but oh boy, top side, you know, on the bottom side at least.
To get the better on the top side.
Yes.
So that's good news. But, you know, listen, you got 2 late game carries in the bot lane. I mean, heck, one of them's name is even late game carry.
It's all about the late game there, but can they keep up with Yuumi in the late game? Because Yuumi is just it's a pocket. It's just a pocket heal at a certain point.
It's pocket Raka.
Yeah, it's Raka, except you can't target them.
Yeah, untargetable Raka, let me tell you. I hate untargetable things in Magic, and I hate untargetable things in League of Legends. Master Yi and Alpha, hate it. Who else? Fizz, Playful Trickster, hate it. Yuumi, hate it. Like, I'm not trying to be a hater here, you know, but like, yeah, these are everything. I think that if you ask the league population, a large majority would agree.
Yes, I would agree that Yumi's an awful champion to play against. Also, not the most fun to play with, and it is a very sort of. You know, never mind. We thought it was but
hey, listen, comes through. That's AP on the late game carry.
That is, yes. It's It stacks, but still
Stack
for this
check?
lane.
Stack check?
Stack check? You want stack check? Oh man, already.
10.
Yeah.
Perfect 10.
Nothing special.
What do you mean? It's 5 minutes in.
That means if they get 10 AP every 5 minutes, that's not good.
Listen. What, you expect them to go 0, X and 0 the entire game?
Oh, never mind.
+1.
Yep, Melon just gave over AP. Never mind. They're inting.
Yeah,
this Yumi.
listen.
I don't know what you mean.
Yeah.
But anyways, back to the Yumi point. Yes, very polarizing champion. In a lot of ways, has sort of gotten a bad rap. Yumi players get a really bad rap for no reason. Oh, here comes the play, though.
Oh, Yumi players get a bad rap because they do stuff like this, just walking into stuns constantly. Heal is out from Cookies. The exhaust is still available, but late game carry able to find the kill onto Melon. The exhaust is down onto Cookies. Out of blue is out of time and out of places to run, but so is Cookies. A double kill for this Veigar. Adam, stack check?
28. They're doing it. They're getting back on their horse.
I told you. Listen, you just don't listen to me. And you know what? That's okay. This is why you're only 1 and 2 in predictions.
Yes. What's the prediction for this game then? Stacks on Veigar?
Really, I was thinking of that, but that's a lot, man. Like that's. I don't really know the average stacks per game that a Veigar gets in the support role anymore. Listen, I'm just the play-by-play caster. My brain is not that big, so if you give me the average, I can give you a line.
I mean, I don't really know how many stacks we're expecting because it really depends on how long the game goes. So if we're guessing how many stacks Veigar gets, if the game goes
not
to
worth
it's not, it doesn't measure skill in a lot of ways, I guess, is what I'm saying. In some ways it does because you need to land your abilities, but if people just walk into your event horizon like
that,
yeah, it's like okay.
On the plus side, I mean, Cookies does pick up a second kill. Jinx is 0-2, so they missed out on at least a couple of minions there, and the wave now shoving into Cookies and Melon.
Yeah, the wave shoving in is going to be in a better spot because Jinx has a harder time unfreezing the wave, and late game carry kind of messed up the wave for the Jinx. I think if you just leave it, it pushes into tower, and then you're okay because you can control when the wave goes back, but the wave state is always a really interesting part of bot lane as a whole. But on the top side of the map, thus far, Pafu's done a good job of staying up in CS. Late game carry, what are you doing here?
Oh, it's just on the roam, baby. Here comes the Cyclone as Paufu trying to make something happen, but is on the wrong side of the turret and does falls. Gwippo with the swag flash consume. A little bit of help from their late game carry roaming up to the top lane. And that is another kill for the side of MG Element. After a really rough start coming out of that bot lane, they're starting to bring it back.
Yes, it's been an interesting early game thus far. I mean, the Veigar getting the double kill, it's a good sign. I mean, this dragon... Oh, no. This might not be a secure
That is aggressive. The pizza is aggressive. Runner 90 in a 3v1. You see King Annihilator trying to get in with the Nether Grasp, and it's stolen away from from Mute. And Mute falls, and Cookies now is nowhere to go except into the loving arms of a Veigar. Never mind, give a second kill over to King Annihilator in the pit. Spy Fiction now in a little bit of trouble as Gwippo comes over to help out. It's a triple kill for King Annihilator as he manages to get it over the wall, and Melon will fall to out of blue, and in the blink of an eye, it's 4 kills for MG Element and a dragon. 3 kills on your hard carry mid laner, and we said it was coming together.
That's why it was trash.
Yeah, that's why it was pretty bad, but I noticed you laughed a lot at the pizza's aggressive. Do you understand that?
Yes! Oh no, the pizza is aggressive.
Oh man, I know almost nobody gets that. I don't like every time I've said it, like nobody's got it. I don't really say it on cast, but man, I just knew, man.
You figured I'd be into the stupidest meme.
Of course.
You know, but yeah, it's a really well played fight though overall. And if we're looking at this combo now that I'm realizing between the Echo and the Veigar, the Veigar event horizon.
He's got no shields. He's got no hope. 4-0 on King Annihilator. Now Paufu in the top lane having a little bit of trouble. Is that minion auto-attacking to do it? No. And the Pillar's 1 true damage doesn't have enough to do it either. However, Mute is going very low. We'll have to Heartbreaker out of there. Paufu is going to get cut off by King Annihilator and give him 5. Adam, I think it's time.
Over under.
Oh man. I'm going to say 12.5.
12.5 on Echo. Okay.
12.5 on Echo. Cookie's picking one back up here in the bot lane. So 12.5 on Echo. They already have 5. So I got to get 13 kills for it to be a winner if you pick the over. Over under.
Over.
Going over again. Up here in the top lane, that could mean a whole lot. King Annihilator sniffing this one out, getting knocked up again. Is he going to get another? Yes, he is! Number 6! Alright, so here's the problem, right? I didn't get to make my pick before we got another kill. So that means the line changes. So, what we said 12.5? You have him at 12.5 over, right?
Yes.
Alright, so now I have him at 13.5. I'm going to go under. So my line is 13.5 here, because obviously he got one more kill. Does this seem fair?
Yes, I think that's fair.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going under.
So basically, dead on 13 means that both of us are happy.
Yeah, exactly. It means I'm a very wise man, and as are you. And you know, I mean, maybe he's just gonna run this game, but like, it's so rare, even when players run these games, that they get that many kills. But King Annihilator is just a different beast. Thankfully, Malzahar using the Nether Grasp to make sure King Annihilator didn't get kill number 7. But that one goes over to late game carry, who is now starting to become the early game carry.
A mid game carry. I mean, that first blood was.
It's 11 minutes in.
Yes. Well, we'll call it mid game because he's not in lane. There we go.
All right, that's fair. Oh, big stun. That was a little weird. Oh my god. Are you still gonna call him mid game carry?
Yeah, I'll call him mid game carry.
This is the early game. It's 12 minutes in. Plates haven't even fallen yet.
Yes,
that's the early game.
Find the early game. Melon.
And 1 on this Veigar.
Melon.
Number 7 for King Annihilator.
What did they expect? What did they expect to happen there?
I don't know. Listen, let me tell you. King Annihilator was hungry for some melon right there. And Palfu just is either not moving out of choice or just out of pure fear. And they've got no turret to run to.
They're trying to bait us with the clone.
The pillar goes down. Gwippo, looking more like Gwippo this game. Listen, we said it is Gwippo or Bwippo. 2-0-4 has got a little bit of help, but let me tell you, Runner 90, their early game jungle prowess is to be feared. The top side of Predictive Gaming is 0-10-0. NA day 2 at Worlds, man.
It's been a really tough early game. Mute. Oh, here comes Melon. I'm scared for this fight. Late game carry's doing a great job baiting.
I'm scared for late game carry. I think there's no bait here. He's just going to go down. It's a shutdown going over to the Yuumi, though. Not really who you want it on. But, I mean, all right, you get one back. But if you're Predictive Gaming, you really have to try to hang your hat on this Ezreal.
I'm still vindicated in the fact that this top side of the map is still 0-10, and late game carry now is really mid game carry.
0-10-2?
Yeah, they got some assists, which is nice, but at the same time, Cookies on this bottom side of the map has definitely made Out of Blue really hate this lane a lot. You can see only Noon Quiver and the Zerker Greaves compared to a full Divine Sunder and that the boots. This
Gwippo's got flash.
Gwippo doesn't need it.
Oh no, Gwippo's just going over the wall. Oh, Nether Grasp isn't enough. Well played by Spy Fiction there. And now Gwippo in a little bit of trouble, but is tanky enough to try to make something happen. Runner 90 over the wall, Out of Blue, aggressively flashing the wall. Nobody
killed him!
Whoa, that was a strange interaction. Ezreal's going to be able to find a way out of there. Spy Fiction going to be able to walk it out as well. Adam, every day I learn something new about League of Legends.
Yeah, Yuumi was in midair when she got auto-attacked, and that's why she ended up dying from that. Oh boy, here comes late game carry.
Oh man. Cookie's able to shift over the wall, but late game carry in hot pursuit will not opt to find a way over the wall as they don't have flash, but I'm sure if they did, they probably would have just went for it at this point. As it is a drubbing 14 minutes in. It is somehow worse than last game.
Yeah, and that's why I'm worried about my prediction more so this game, because I don't think there's enough time for him to get to 13 kills this game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. And Gwippo tanking up a lot here, but King Annihilator, ever the bro, blocking the Ezreal Q, and now Mute going in for it. Oh! Will fall, and King Annihilator's going to pick up that Yuumi as well. Palfu trying to get in the middle of things and make something happen. They're going to die as well. It's 9 kills for King Annihilator. Are they going to make it 10? No. Cookie's able to shift over the wall, but unfortunately for Predictive Gaming, it just feels like they're not able to get anything back. Sure, you found Out of Blue, but 3 members have gone down for it.
my goodness, it is disgusting what is happening this game. This is tough. It's 15 minutes into the game, and it's 9.5.
It's almost a 10K gold lead, yeah.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's been such a strong game from the side of MG Element, and you know, they're keeping an eye out for us. They know that our sleep schedules are absolutely awful, and you know they're
thank
saying,
you.
Yeah. Let's get this over with.
And listen, they're just putting out of blue in the papoose here. You know, they just decided, you know what, hey, hop in the sack, we got you, no big deal. But even then, out of blue, still trying to make some plays. You know, I like that aggressive flash over the wall when you're up by a lot. It helped really solidify that team fight over the Drake. So, you know, they're in the game. They're participating for sure.
Yeah, they're doing what they can, and they think, in a lot of ways, you know, Out of Blue's just been the pressure sink in a lot of ways to sort of just soak up what Cookies has been able to do on this bottom side of the map. But now that you've got the Moonstone complete on Melon, there is an angle to get back into this one. King Annihilator, though, oh my goodness.
Oh, he's been suppressed under the turret.
What?
What? Bro, that is not... What just happened? So King Annihilator went in without Chrono Break, which is a little bit of an int right there. But my God. I think I'm losing this bet. I think I'm falling to 3-1 here.
Yeah, this is tough because honestly, this Echo has a lot more damage than I think.
In the blink of an eye, I didn't expect all of this.
Yeah, and another thing is that with this with the Nashor's Tooth build, not only are you going to be able to get 100 AP from that item for some reason, you're just able to get so much extra damage off of that passive as well. Oh boy, here we go.
CC layering is there, but on the backside, it's Runner 90. Powfu having to flash away. Spy Fiction, are you going to be able to dissuade this Trundle? And it looks like they will. Powfu is going to be able to get away. Big heal out of the Yuumi, as you just said. And for the first time, it feels like Predictive Gaming was able to kind of hold their ground, although they lost a lot of it. They eventually held it.
Yeah, it's an interesting game plan thus far from the side of MG Element in the sense that they're just sort of running around the map doing whatever they want. They don't really have a good game plan. And in a lot of ways, Predictive Gaming can potentially take advantage of that to get themselves back into this game. It is a 7,000 gold lead for MG Element, but, you know, we've seen the side of Predictive Gaming able to find some sort of play back into the game before, and I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I'm just curious to see if they're able to make this game cleaner than last game and, you know, close out the game even quicker, because I think they had the agency to finish the game in 23 minutes last game, but they ended up taking 30. Oh boy.
I'm calling it. It's a double kill for King Annihilator here, maybe even a triple. Yuumi got detached. Oh wait, no, never mind. That was a clone. I'm sorry. And King Annihilator has been goon squatted on, actually, and that is going to be a kill for Spy Fiction, and that is a lot of gold heading over to that Malzahar. And remember, you talked about it just a moment ago, but there was a point in time where Predictive Gaming started making their comeback. This might be the time.
It's looking like they've been able to take off the stacks off of that Dark Seal of the Echo, and it bodes well for the wager here because it means that there's more time to get some of those kills, but it's still a little bit scary here because Echo is a very snowbally champion, and if they start to fall behind, it can be difficult, but they do scale incredibly well into that late game stage of the game, and I don't really see any way that they're going to have enough MR. Oh boy.
Uh-oh. Here comes Predictive Gaming. They're starting to make plays. Ezreal getting in there, getting an assist. The kill is going to go over to Mute. And this dragon looks like it could be all theirs. Late game carry getting slowed up just as they landed the stun, so nothing they could do. But Gwippo, ever the menace with that big Monch.
Yeah, doesn't actually have it up, but they don't know that.
Yeah, of course.
That's sort of the power play here. They're gonna have to try and find some sort of crazy smite play, but here comes the final chapter.
Yep, it is gonna come
King
out.
Annihilator!
Fun. Gonna do so much here. Big knockups. Let's watch King Annihilator work. They're gonna find a kill on the Powfu for the Ezreal ultimate. Not enough late game carry. Managing to find the kill onto the Yuumi. It's a shutdown for Spy Fiction, but Spy Fiction dies themselves. It's a double kill for this Echo, and now on the hunt here for Cookies. Cookies able to hit the blast plant, but King Annihilator is just way too fast. 13 kills.
I'm happy.
Please FF.
I'm happy.
Just do it. Just please. Just call it. Please.
I'm Bing chilling right now.
Realistically speaking, I never want to call for an FF, obviously.
Yeah.
Listen, I just wanted to listen. All good things must come to an end. I'm not this good with my sports wagers, all right? I had that one bet that I hit for $4 grand, and really that's it.
thus
Like,
far,
you know, like listen, like, 3-1 ain't bad. 3-1 ain't bad.
yeah, it's not bad. And
Congratulations, improving to 2-2.
I-
RareAdam single-handedly going 2-0 on the night. That's very impressive.
yeah, it's a good plan. I mean, if this is our game that we run throughout the season, I am down for it every single time.
But you know what really does concern me is that we're only really going to do it whenever a player really pulls ahead in the early going, and it feels like we've been doing it a lot. It feels like, you know, we're starting to see the wheat from the chaff rise, you know, or the cream of the crop. The cream rises to the top. They're the cream of the crop, you know. We're starting to see which teams are going to be the stronger teams this season.
Yeah, and I think that's sort of what the first couple of weeks are going to determine, and we'll see an idea of what that means with the power rankings and such, because, you know, MG Element here, they were, I believe, ranked third, if I remember
Maybe they should be
correctly.
ranked second.
Yeah, they might be rising up just a little bit more because these games have been pretty good, and even WCU, they were rated as, you know, fifth despite going, you know, 2-0 that week, and might actually rise despite losing a series just because of how they played as well. So a couple of different, you know, interactions we might see this week. Oh,
King and Annihilator looking for more kills, and they're going to give him right to him. I have fallen to 3-1. Mute is about to fall. No, never mind. It's Runner 90 going down, but Whippo from the side coming in. Big Monch. Big knock-up onto Cookies as well, and Cookies will be the next to die. Spy Fiction has the shield. The shield has been broken, and they're going to run away with their B. No Baron taken for the side of MG Element, but another fight win. It's a 3-for-1, and the gold lead is just continuing to balloon at this point.
Yes, and, you know, it's starting to get out of hand. Like, this is where, you know, you start to throw down the gauntlet, and, you know, 14-2-8 on this Echo has the Rabadons. I think that's sort of the sign that, yeah, this game is pretty much over. And Out of Blue, despite having a really rough early game here, is starting to catch up in the damage department as well. And if they get excited, it doesn't really matter how many items they have. They're going to get that huge infusion of attack speed and really be able to take over a fight as well. So 11,000 gold lead here. King Annihilator is so difficult to take down here. And yeah, MG Element are just, they're in their element.
Listen, King Annihilator's own worst enemy has been themselves. Like, their 2 deaths have been directly attributed to their misplays. I suppose the only question left now is how many kills is King Annihilator actually going to get?
Oh. Do I get to set a line now?
No. There's just this at this point, you know, we're done with the betting for the game. We've already figured it out. I'm just really curious on how many he's going to get. Late game carry picking up their 6th of the game. You know, we said that this Veigar was going to be pretty impactful, and they have been very impactful. Now Cookies here, along with Powfu, trying to find a way onto this Veigar, and Cookies will fall. Runner 90 getting credit for that one, and Out of Blue just absolutely destroying this cat. And once again, the homing rocket getting a kill. Whippo taking a bite out of crime. 5-0-14 on this Cho'Gath. Quite impressive out of the top laner, who really struggled last game.
Yeah, Guipo doing a great job of kind of getting back into their wheelhouse and playing a great game. And, you know, it's kind of crazy when we look at King Annihilator's performance today. 32, 6, and 9.
Jeez.
Like, that's a lot of kills. Looking for more,
32, 6, and 9. Wow. That is just... I don't know what to say. Is this the best mid laner in the Black Twitch League? Leading their team here, the first Nexus turret will fall. The Baron minions are still around, but Out of Blue stepping a little bit too far up. It's a big lost chapter, and here comes some kills. Mute, though, is in the middle of 4 members of the enemy team, and they will fall. King Annihilator gets a big shield.
Oh, no!
It's a triple kill, but a kill will go over to Runner 90, and I don't think they're going to be able to find Cookies. King Annihilator with the chrono break, and no, they are able to find Cookies. Give that one over to late game carry. They deserve it. It is an ace, a 5-for-1 in favor of MG Element, and in a game that wasn't really even competitive, King Annihilator put on a show.
Just so well played from tape to tape once again for the side of MG Element. You know, great games coming out from King Annihilator, going 35 kills over the course of that series. And, you know, it's hard to sort of have any sort of qualms with that performance for MG Element. They were able to take both of these games in extremely quick fashion. Like, you know, stream's only about an hour 40 minutes right now, and they've been able to just speed through these games, do everything in their power to to show the league what they're made of. And this is a team that's going to be scary come the later stages. We saw flashes of this team last season. They didn't quite have it together in what could have been a really strong league for them to succeed in, but this time around they're coming in from the beginning of the season. They're looking really strong already, and they're looking to try and take over this league.
And realistically speaking, we've seen our top 2 teams potentially a storyline for future weeks: MG Element versus Barber's Fan Club. I'm really interested to see these 2 teams go at it. And for the side of Predictive Gaming, you really wanted to see them put up a fight in the second game, and it looks like their early game is just either MG Element's early game is just way too strong, or Predictive Gaming's early game is just way too exploitable.
It seems like MG Element are just they've established themselves, and I don't want to take away from them in their performance, but in a lot of ways, Predictive Gaming, they still need to try and figure out what works for them. And I think that two very different drafts facing the same fate can be rather challenging to sort of process, to sort of understand what went wrong in a lot of ways. And I think that is the main thing that they've got to focus on moving forward. They need to try and find another identity for themselves that they can stand by, and that they can practice, and that they can come in here with and really perform on it, because it feels like they didn't really have that today, especially seeing the 2 different drafts.
Where you are in Paufu, really on the struggle bus that last game, 1-9-3, and didn't really have the greatest series overall. And realistically, we don't often do player of the series, but I mean, it has to be King Annihilator, right?
Oh yeah, there's no shot that it isn't them in that case. It's
35 kills, right? Is that right?
35 kills over 2 games, averaging 17.5. So I mean, the lines are gonna have to start to move way up here. Like, we're gonna have to start giving like the Callista lines. What was that? The 16 and a half kills, right?
Yeah. Listen. King Annihilator, you hammer the over every single game. Every single game, you hammer the over. That's what we call hammering the over. I believe that Ito has joined us. So, Ito, do you have any special announcements that we need to make as we close out week 2 of Black Twitch League?
Not much. The games, I see that King Annihilator seems to have crazy games. I didn't catch the end of the first game. Did you end up getting did he end up getting the number of kills on Yasuo for the bet?
18.
He did, yes. 18.
Oh my goodness.
Blew it out of the water. Ito, is King Annihilator the best mid laner in the league?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to say. He seems to certainly be having the greatest stats, but there are a lot of good mid laners. A lot of teams put their elo in the mid lane. I feel bad for. I think Spy Fiction has had a couple of rough matchups. I think these 2 weeks. So I do feel for him. If I look across the mid laner, across the league, I know like Alice Gander's a good mid laner. Nukes from Barba's Fan Club is a good mid laner. We can't just throw nukes out there. Please don't run it from WCU Rams is a high elo mid laner. So there's learning from Spectre Gaming. So I can't just call him the best, but he probably has the best stats right now. Just absolutely running over, especially after this series. But I don't want to just call him the game. I did want to make a reminder out there to any of the viewers who are still in the chat. If you are in the game that is on stream, there's a 3-minute delay between what we see as the audience and the spectators and what you guys are if you're in the game. So please do not immediately at the end of your game come to the chat and just start typing GG or anything about the game, because we don't know for 3 minutes. That just kind of spoils it for us viewers. And so that is like pretty much the one major rule we have on our Twitch chat is if you're in the game on stream, please do not spoil the game by typing in the chat before the game is over on stream. So I do just want to make that reminder. I know that's been something we've had to deal with in the past, so that's like one of our major rules about the chat. So I do want to make that reminder. Other than that, that's our only game that's our last match for the BTL, I guess, Super Week, because we had matches on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So we will be back with week 3 next Saturday at 6 p.m. EST, barring any reschedules or anything like that. But it should be Barba's Fan Club versus Team Ishtar next Saturday at 6 p.m. EST. So looking forward to that. See how Barba's Fan Club has been a powerhouse team so far.
Next week.
And then,
I
think. But what's up?
I'm not going to be here next week.
Sad. Oh, that is sad.
Yeah, I'm attending a Magic tournament.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, the two of the stores that I go to, they're doing this cool thing in New Jersey where it's like you're gonna fight for Garden State supremacy. So it's like, okay, I get to like, compete in some tournaments where it's like trying to find the best player in New Jersey. Like, all right, it's pretty cool. Like,
Yeah, that's cool.
I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna show up my stuff. So
That's fair. That's fair. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a host over to, I believe, Kemi again. I see Kemi is live. Kemi is a
nice.
good friend of me and of the BTL community.
It's a good stream last night at Kemi.
Yeah. So, and yeah, Kemi sometimes has played in the BTL recently. Like, I think last time she played probably like season 5, season 6. I think we had like some in-between tournaments that Kemi's been a part of. But yeah, Kemi's a long-standing member. And BFC wins. However, next, I see Pixel has some bias, of course, for supporting Barbara's fan club. And we're going to throw the host over to her, and we will see you guys next week.
Have a great night. Yeah, so I'm not here next Saturday. I'll be around on Sunday for the nightcap game, unless you want to just have the person do the 6 p.m. and the 9 p.m. That's what you want to do, no big deal. There's a chance I might not be around for the next 3 weeks. Like my Sunday at 9 p.m. will be fine, because unless you want to delay the stream a little bit, I can do 6, but I get done work right at 6. And there might be a scenario where I don't exactly get done right at 6 if I'm,
I got you.
The other supervisors, in a supervisor chat. I'm in a supervisor chat, I can't just leave. So it's like I don't really want to do that, because I know it'll work like 9 out of 10 times, but the one time it won't work, I won't be able to show up for 15 to 20 minutes. I don't want to do that.
Okay.
But other than that, so that